Welcome to your Ultimate Wedding Planner by RichvaleCreatives. This planner is designed to simplify your entire wedding journey by keeping everything organized in one place. Before we begin, there are a couple of quick things to keep in mind. Most of the spreadsheet is protected to prevent accidental changes to important formulas. If you click on a locked cell and see a warning message, simply close it and continue. You'll also notice a color system throughout the planner. White cells are editable, while colored cells are automated and should not be changed. To avoid any issues, do not drag or move cells. If you need to reuse information, simply copy and paste instead. You'll also see a side navigation menu that allows you to quickly jump between different tabs in the planner. This menu is collapsible, so you can expand or hide it as needed. In this case only, if a warning appears when using the navigation, you can safely click OK to continue. Now let's move into setting up your planner. In this tab, you'll begin by entering your core wedding information, which will automatically populate throughout the entire spreadsheet. Start by entering your save the date, followed by your currency symbol. Then fill in the bride's first and last name, the groom's first and last name, and your wedding location. Once that's complete, move down to the wedding details section. This is where you'll customize key lists that power drop-down menus across the planner. You can enter your guest groups, financial supporters, accommodation options, and roles such as bridesmaids, groomsmen, or planners. These sections help personalize your planner and make the rest of the tabs quicker and easier to complete. Take your time filling everything in, and remember you can always come back and update it later. Once this section is complete, your planner is fully set up and ready for the next steps. Let's take a look at the Save the Date tab. This section gives you two different design options that you can use to create your Save the Date cards. Each design is already connected to the details you entered earlier, so your names, date, and location will automatically appear. To use it, simply select the design you prefer, then open the print settings and adjust it to fit your page. You can choose your paper size, orientation, and scale so everything prints neatly on one page. Once it looks the way you want, you can print it or save it for later. This makes it really easy to quickly create and send out your save the dates without needing any extra design work. This tab helps you visually plan and organize the overall look and feel of your wedding. There are two ways to add images here. You can either paste an image URL into the designated cell, and the image will automatically appear. For example, if you find a decoration idea you like online, simply copy the image link and paste it into the cell, and it will load instantly. Alternatively, you can insert an image directly into the cell, which will override the existing formula if you prefer uploading your own images. At the top, you'll find your color palette, where you can create your own custom colors by entering hex codes to match your vision. Right beside that is the theme breakdown section, where you can type in your theme name and add tags that describe your overall style. As you move down, you'll be able to add inspiration images for categories like decoration, invitations, and stationery. There's also space to include up to 3 typography styles to help you visualize your fonts. Further below, you can add images for the bride and groom, followed by sections for the wedding party and any extra inspiration you'd like to include, bringing your entire vision together in one place. This is the couple's profile section, where you can capture your story and add a more personal touch to your planner. In this tab, you'll simply fill in key moments like how you met, highlights from your first date, and your engagement story. There's also space to include fun facts about your relationship to make it more meaningful and unique. Below that, you can list hobbies and interests for each person, as well as the ones you share together. You'll find dedicated sections for shared hobbies, shared interests, and individual interests, so you can clearly see what you both enjoy. This section is completely customizable. Just type in your information and make it your own. It's a great way to keep your memories and personalities reflected throughout your wedding planning experience. Let's take a look at the wedding dashboard. This tab gives you a complete overview of your planning progress all in one place. At the top, you'll see your wedding date highlighted on a calendar, along with a section that shows any tasks due today pulled from your timeline, budget, and task tracker. Just below that, you'll also find a list of up to 5 upcoming tasks, so you can stay on top of what's coming next. The next section focuses on your guest and seating overview. Here, you'll see your total number of guests, how many have confirmed, and how many are not attending, along with charts that help you quickly visualize the breakdown. Below that is your budget summary, where you can clearly track your total budget, total paid, and how much is left to pay. You'll also be able to see how much you have left to spend and how much remains within your budget, supported by charts and graphs to make everything easy to understand at a glance. The final section is dedicated to your tasks. It includes a breakdown of tasks by time period based on your checklist tab, along with a section highlighting upcoming details you still need to complete. This dashboard is designed to give you a quick, clear snapshot of everything, so you always know exactly where you stand in your planning. Let's go over the Calendar tab. This section helps you clearly visualize your schedule and upcoming deadlines. To get started, set up your calendar by selecting the weekly start day, followed by the month and year you want to view. Right below that, you'll see a quick summary showing how many tasks are completed, pending, and the total overall, giving you an instant snapshot of your progress. Next, you can choose which sources you want to display on your calendar. You have the option to include your task tracker, which covers both variable and recurring tasks, your budget tracker for payment-related deadlines, and your wedding timeline. Simply check the boxes to include or remove each source. You can also enable the option to show only incomplete tasks if you want to focus on what still needs to be done. Within the calendar itself, each day can display up to 7 tasks. If there are more than 7 tasks on a single day, a small warning will appear. In that case, you can switch to the daily view located at the bottom left of the tab, where you'll be able to see a more detailed breakdown with up to 24 tasks for that specific day. This makes it easy to stay organized, even during your busiest planning periods. Let's go over the Variable Tasks tab. This section is designed to help you track all your flexible one-time tasks throughout your wedding planning. At the top, you'll see a quick overview showing how many tasks are completed, not done, overdue, and those due within the next 7 days. Right beside that, you'll also find charts that give you a visual breakdown of your overall progress, task priority distribution, and how tasks are assigned. To add a task, simply fill in each column. Start by checking the box once a task is completed under Done. Then enter the task name and a short description if needed. Select a due date, choose who the task is assigned to, and set a priority level. The days left column will automatically calculate based on your due date, and the notes section is optional if you want to include any extra details or reminders. For example, you might create a task called Recap Day and Talk. In this case, you can leave the description blank if it's self-explanatory, then set the due date to August 29, 2026. For Assign to, select both, and set the priority to medium. Once entered, the days left will automatically calculate based on today's date. If there's nothing additional to note, you can leave the notes section empty. This gives you a simple way to track important check-ins or conversations without overcomplicating your task list. Now let's go over the Recurring Tasks section, which is split into 2 tabs, the Setup and the Schedule. In the Recurring Tasks Setup tab, you can track up to 100 tasks that repeat on a regular basis, such as weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly tasks. For each one, you'll need to enter the task name, a short description, the start date, frequency, who it's assigned to, and the priority level. All fields must be filled in except for the end date. If you leave the end date blank, it will automatically continue up until your wedding date. This allows you to easily plan out routines or repeated responsibilities without having to re-enter them multiple times. Once your recurring tasks are set up, head over to the Recurring Schedule tab. This tab will automatically generate a full schedule of your recurring tasks in chronological order, displaying the date, task name, description, assigned person, and priority. As you complete each task, simply check the box in the Done column to mark it off. If you ever need to make a one-time change to a specific occurrence, you can use the Adjustment section on the side. Here, you can enter a new date, assign it to someone else, or change the priority for that single instance only. This will not affect the rest of the schedule, making it easy to stay flexible while still keeping your recurring tasks organized. Let's walk through the Budget tab, where you can manage and track all your wedding finances in one place. To begin, enter your total wedding budget at the top. Once that's set, you'll immediately see a summary showing how much has been paid, how much is left to pay, how much you have left to spend, how much remains within your budget, and your top vendor expense. Alongside this, you'll find visual charts that break down your vendor contract prices versus amounts paid, your expense distribution, and your budget contributor distribution. Just below, additional charts give you a clear view of what's left to spend and how close you are to your overall budget, making it easy to stay financially on track. Next, you'll want to enter your expense categories, such as venue rentals, DJ, or daycare, and assign a budgeted amount to each one. The rest of the columns, including amount paid, difference, and percentage of total expenses, are fully automated and will update based on the transactions you log below. To record a payment, scroll down to the expense tracking table. Here, select the appropriate category, enter the date, choose who made the payment, input the amount, and add any notes if needed. For For example, if you create a category called Other with a budget of $1,000, you'll initially see that nothing has been paid and the full amount remains. Once you log a $1,000 payment under that category, the table above will automatically update to reflect the change. Next is the Vendor Payments section, which is largely automated based on the vendors you'll select in another tab. This table displays the vendor type, vendor name, package, contract price, amount paid, remaining balance, and percentage. The contract price will automatically pull in, but you can manually adjust it if needed to override the formula. To track vendor payments, use the Vendor Payments tracker below. Simply select the vendor type, vendor name, and who paid from the drop-down menus, then enter the due date, paid date, and amount. Once the payment has been made, be sure to check the Paid box. For example, if you log a florist payment for Luxe Petals paid by the wedding couple, due on June 1, 2026, and paid on May 31, 2026 for $2,500, the balance will only update once the checkbox is marked. This step is important, as payments won't be counted unless they are confirmed. You'll also find a fully automated transaction history table that combines both expense and vendor payments in chronological order, giving you a complete overview of all financial activity. Just above that, there is a summary of your wedding contributors and their total contributions. Finally, you may notice a plus icon on the side of the sheet. This allows you to expand and view additional rows if needed, giving you access to up to 100 expense and vendor categories. If you prefer a cleaner view, you can keep it minimized. Overall, this tab is designed to give you a clear, organized, and professional way to manage your wedding budget, so you can confidently track every dollar throughout your planning process. Now let's go over the Wedding Itinerary tab. This section is designed to help you plan out your schedule in detail, so everything runs smoothly across your wedding events. The tab is organized into 5 separate tables, giving you the flexibility to plan multiple days, whether it's events leading up to the wedding day itself, or any celebrations after. At the top of each table, you'll find a header where you can select the date, allowing you to clearly organize each day based on your timeline. For each entry within the tables, simply fill in the time, event name, person responsible, and any additional details. You can also use the Notes section for extra reminders or important information. Once something is completed, just check the box in the Done column to mark it off. This layout makes it easy to map out every part of your wedding experience, keep everyone aligned, and ensure nothing is overlooked from start to finish. Now let's take a look at the Wedding Timeline tab. This section helps you stay organized by breaking your planning into clear time periods leading up to your wedding. The tab is divided into 9 separate tables, covering key stages such as 12 months before, 10 to 11 months before, 8 to 9 months before, all the way down to the final month, the last few weeks, and even the day before your wedding. This structure makes it easy to know exactly what needs to be done at each stage. Within each table, you can track your tasks by filling in the columns for deadline, person responsible, priority level, and any notes. Once a task is completed, simply check the box in the Done column to mark it off. For example, you might add a task like Find DJ, set the deadline to today's date, assign a medium priority, and once it's completed, tick the checkbox to mark it as done. At the top of the tab, you'll also find a pie chart that visually shows your overall progress and lets you quickly see how many tasks are completed and how many are still remaining. This makes it easy to stay on track and ensures nothing gets missed as your wedding day approaches. Let's go over the Packing tab. This section helps you stay organized by keeping track of everything you need to bring for your wedding events. The tab is divided into 3 separate tables for your wedding weekend, your honeymoon, and the day of the wedding, so you can easily sort items based on when you'll need them. For each item, simply enter what you need to pack, select the person responsible using the drop-down menu, and check the box once it's packed and ready. This makes it easy to see at a glance what's been completed and what still needs to be prepared. Overall, this tab helps ensure nothing gets forgotten, so you can feel fully prepared for every part of your wedding experience. Now let's look at the Vendor Options tab, where you can research, compare, and select the vendors for your wedding. At the top of this section, you can list up to 25 different vendor categories, such as planners, photographers, florists, DJs, and more. As you enter vendor quotes and selections, the total amounts and percentages for each category will automatically calculate. On the right side, you'll also see several charts that help visualize your vendor spending, including vendor amount distribution, category distribution, and the number of vendors within each category. As you scroll down, you'll find individual vendor tables for each category. Each table allows you to enter up to 10 different vendor options. For each vendor, you'll fill in the columns for chosen name, contact, email address, website, package, amount, status, and notes. The chosen column is a checkbox that you'll use to mark the vendor you ultimately select. Then simply enter the vendor's name, phone number, email address, website link, package or service name, and the quoted amount. You can also select a status such as researching, shortlisted, or completed, and add notes if needed. For example, you might enter a wedding planner called the Ultimate Wedding Planner, with the contact number 666666666, email hello@ultimateplanner.car, and website www.weddingplanner.car. The package could be listed as luxury planners for weddings, with the price of $5,000 and the status marked as completed and no notes needed. Once you decide this is the vendor you want, simply tick the chosen checkbox. The row will highlight, and if you scroll back up, you'll see that the amount is automatically added to the total for that vendor category. You can repeat this process for all of your vendor categories, allowing you to easily compare options and keep your entire vendor selection process organized in one place. Now let's go over the vendor contact and vendor questions tabs, which work together to help you stay organized when communicating with your vendors. The vendor contact tab is fully automated and pulls information directly from the vendor options tab based on the vendors you've selected. Once you've marked a vendor as chosen, their details, including name, contact number, email, website, package, and status, will automatically appear here. There's nothing you need to enter manually in this tab, but it serves as a convenient, centralized directory so you can quickly access all your confirmed vendor information whenever needed. Next is the Vendor Questions tab, which is designed to help you manage communication and keep track of important conversations. To get started, simply select a vendor from the drop-down menu. Once selected, all of their key details will automatically populate, including their contact information, package, pricing, status, and any notes carried over from the Vendor Options tab. On the right, you'll find a dedicated vendor queue and a section where you can log your interactions. For each entry, you can record the date the question was asked, the question itself, the vendor's response, and any additional notes. This allows you to keep a clear record of all communications, compare responses across vendors, and ensure you have all the information needed to make confident decisions. Together, these tabs provide a structured and professional way to manage vendor communication, helping you stay organized and fully informed throughout your wedding planning process. Now let's go over the Food and Drinks tab, where you can plan and organize your full menu for the wedding. To begin, enter your caterer and bartender information at the top using the provided format, including the company name, contact person, phone number, email address, and website link. This ensures all your key vendor details are easily accessible in one place. At the top of the tab, you'll also see a visual summary that shows the cost distribution between meals and drinks, along with the number of items selected for each category. This gives you a quick overview of how your menu is balanced. Next, you'll move into building your menu. The tab is divided into sections such as appetizers, starters, main course, dessert, wedding cake, beverages, and any additional items. For each category, you can list out your possible options. Beside each item, you'll find a drop-down menu where you can assign dietary restrictions. At the top of the tab, there's a legend to guide you, including labels like vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, shellfish-free, and halal. You can also add images to each option to help visualize your menu. Just like before, you can either paste an image URL into the cell or insert an image directly into it, depending on your preference. Once you've reviewed your options, simply check the box beside each item you've selected. Selected items will automatically highlight, making it easy to see your final choices. After selecting your menu items, scroll down to the cost section. Here, all the items you selected will automatically appear. It's important to make sure you've selected all your options first before entering any quantities or prices. In this table, you'll input the quantity needed, while the item name is filled in automatically, and then enter the price per unit. The total cost for each item will be calculated for you. As you complete this section, you'll also see a cost breakdown on the side, which organizes your items from highest to lowest total cost. This gives you a clear overview of where most of your budget is going, helping you make informed decisions and stay within your target spending for food and drinks. Now let's go over the Venue Options tab, where you can compare up to 5 different venues side by side to find the best fit for your wedding. To start, enter the basic information for each venue, including the venue name, contact person, phone number, email address, website, location, guest capacity, and current status. This gives you a complete overview of each option in one place. Next, you'll move into the service and item setup section. Here you can list all the applicable services offered by each venue, such as rental fees, ceremony space, reception hall, catering packages, bar services, furniture, lighting, and other related costs. Only include the items that are relevant to your venues so your comparison stays accurate and personalized. On the right side, you'll find a cost breakdown for each venue. Simply enter the amount for each service you listed, and the total will automatically calculate at the top. This allows you to clearly see how much each venue will cost overall, along with a detailed breakdown of where the expenses are coming from. Below each venue section, you'll also have space to write notes or list pros and cons. This is useful for keeping track of important details, standout features, or anything that may influence your final decision. At the top of each venue column, you can also add an image to help visualize the space. As with other tabs, you can either paste an image URL or insert an image directly into the cell. When you've made your final decision, simply check the Choose this venue box. The selected venue will highlight, making it easy to identify your final choice. Take your time comparing your options here. This tab is designed to give you a clear, side-by-side view, so you can confidently choose the venue that best fits your vision and budget. Now let's go over the Personal Contacts tab. This section is designed to keep all your important people and contact details organized in one place. The tab is divided into multiple categories, including guest VIP contacts, transportation or ride coordination contacts, accommodation or hotel contacts, speeches and ceremony participants, emergency contacts, and day of responsibilities or item holders. There are also a few additional blank sections available if you'd like to customize and add your own categories. For each section, simply enter the name, relationship, phone number, email address, and any notes if needed. This makes it easy to quickly access the right person when needed, whether it's for planning, coordination, or handling last-minute situations on the day of your wedding. Now let's go over the Guest List tab, where you can manage and track all of your wedding guests in one place. At the top of the page, you'll find a series of charts that give you a visual overview of your guest data, including attendance by group, RSVP status, save the date distribution, invitation status, and gift tracking. You'll also see a quick summary showing your total number of guests, how many have confirmed, and how many are not attending. Below that is the main tracking table, where you'll enter all your guest details. Start by adding the guest's name and selecting their group from the drop-down menu, such as family, friends, or coworkers. Then indicate whether save the date and invitation have been sent, followed by their RSVP status. You can also select accommodation details if needed. There's a checkbox to mark whether a guest has sent a gift. This is important, as it connects directly to your Gifts and Thank You tab, which we'll cover later. You can also fill in additional details such as address, phone number, email, and any notes, depending on how much information you'd like to track. For example, you might enter a guest like Bob Jones or Grace O'Connor under the couple's friends group, mark both the save the date and invitation as sent, and set the RSVP status to maybe or undecided. If they don't require accommodation, you can leave that blank, and if they've sent a gift, simply check the box. Any contact details can be added if available, or left empty if not. This tab gives you a complete and organized view of your guest list, making it easy to track responses, manage invitations, and stay on top of every detail. Let's go over the Wedding Party tab. This section helps you organize everyone involved in your wedding party, including bridesmaids, groomsmen, and any additional participants. The tab is divided into 3 main tables, each allowing you to track up to 30 people, giving you plenty of space to manage your full wedding party. For each person, you'll fill in details such as their name, role, confirmation status, aisle order, escort, and ceremony position. You can also track attire details, including what they're wearing and the status of their outfit. Additional columns allow you to assign tasks, note whether they've confirmed for the rehearsal, and track important timing details like arrival time, as well as hair and makeup scheduling. Where applicable, you can use drop-down menus to select options such as role, confirmation status, and rehearsal attendance, making the process quick and consistent. You can also include contact details like phone number and email, along with any notes you'd like to keep for reference. This tab gives you a clear and structured way to coordinate your entire wedding party, ensuring everyone knows their role and is fully prepared for the big day. Now let's go over the Seating Plan tab. This section helps you organize where all of your guests will be seated during your wedding. On the left side, you'll find the Table Customization section, where you can create and label up to 45 tables. Each table includes a name and a short description, which you can use to indicate who will be seated there. The first table, called the head table, is already set and should not be edited, as it is reserved for the bride and groom by default. At the top of the tab, you'll see a full seating overview, including total guests, total confirmed guests, total occupied seats, the percentage of guests seated, how many are still waiting to be seated, and the number of tables currently in use. This gives you a clear snapshot of your seating progress. Each table can hold up to 15 guests. For the head table, since the bride and groom are already assigned, you can select up to 13 additional guests. To assign guests to tables, simply use the drop-down menus to choose from your confirmed guest list. On the right side, you'll find a list of guests who have not yet been seated. As you assign them to tables, they will automatically disappear from this list, helping you keep track of who still needs placement. You'll also see a chart that shows the percentage of guests seated, along with the distribution of guests across your tables. This tab makes it easy to visualize your entire seating arrangement and ensures every guest has a place for your special day. Now let's take a look at the Gifts and Thank You tab. This section helps you keep track of all the gifts you receive and manage your thank you notes after the wedding. At the top, you'll see a quick summary of key information, including the total number of gifts, how many are cash gifts, and how many thank you notes have been sent. You'll also find charts that give you a visual breakdown of your gift distribution. The main tracker below is where all the details are organized. Names and contact information, including address, phone number, and email, are automatically pulled from the Guest List tab. A guest will only appear here once you've marked that they've sent a gift, so it's important to check that box in the guest list when applicable. From there, if the gift is cash, simply check the cash box and enter the amount. If it's a physical gift, you can write in what was received instead. Once you've sent a thank you note, just tick the checkbox to mark it as completed. This tab keeps everything simple and organized, making it easy to track gifts and ensure you don't miss sending a thank you to anyone. This section allows you to store and display your wedding photos all in one place. You can add images in two ways. The first option is to paste an image URL directly into the cell, and the photo will automatically appear. For example, if you have a photo saved online or in your drive, simply copy the image link and paste it into the cell, and it will load in. The second option is to insert an image directly into the cell, which will override the formula if you prefer uploading your own files. In this tab, you can add up to 2 main photos and up to 30 smaller photos. Keep in mind that the first main photo you insert will automatically appear on your wedding dashboard, so you may want to choose your favorite or most important image for that spot. If you're using image URLs, you also have the option to click the minus icon on the left side to collapse the view for a cleaner layout. If a warning appears when doing this, you can safely click OK. This helps keep your gallery looking neat and organized. Overall, this tab gives you a simple way to keep your favorite wedding moments together and easily accessible within your planner. Now let's go over the Honeymoon tab. This section is designed to help you plan and track your trip in detail, from budgeting to scheduling. Start by selecting your honeymoon date range at the top. Then you can enter up to 8 expense categories, such as transportation, accommodation, food, or shopping. Once entered, these categories will automatically generate matching budget tables, where you can break each one down further into subcategories and assign budgeted amounts. As you scroll down, you'll find the expense tracker, where you can log all your transactions by entering the date, amount, category, and any notes. As you input this information, your actual spending and remaining budget will automatically update, giving you a clear picture of your finances. For example, under a category like shopping, you might create a subcategory called Other Shopping and assign it a budget of $1,000. If you then log a transaction of $1,100 on March 6, 2027 under that category and scroll back up, you'll see that your totals update automatically, showing that you've gone over budget with a negative difference. In addition to budgeting, this tab also allows you to enter your travel details, including your destination, flights, hotel information, confirmation numbers, total cost, amount paid, remaining balance, and payment due dates, along with any notes you may need. There's also a booking section where you can track reservations or vendors, including their contact details, booking status, payment progress, and notes. Finally, you'll find an itinerary table where you can plan out your daily schedule by entering the date, time, and activities for each day of your trip. At the top of the tab, you'll see a summary of your total budget, total expenses, and how much you have left to spend, along with charts that help visualize your spending. This tab gives you a complete and organized way to plan your honeymoon, manage your budget, and keep all your travel details in one place. That's everything included in your ultimate wedding planner by Richvale Creatives. Each tab is designed to guide you step by step, helping you stay organized, manage your budget, coordinate with vendors, and bring your entire wedding vision together in one place. Take your time exploring each section and customizing it to fit your needs. As you continue planning, this spreadsheet will become your central hub for everything, making the process more structured, efficient, and stress-free. If you have any questions or need support, feel free to reach out. And with that, you're all set to start planning your perfect wedding.